Hello there, my name is Klaus Rothel, and I'm doing 100 innovation keynotes in 100 days. Today is number 71, and today I'm going to talk about remembering the onboarding spectrum. Now here, sleeping next to me, is Saga. Saga has had her first day of kindergarten today, and she was in kindergarten for 2 hours. She had her parents with her, and when we came out, it took 5 minutes, and she just crashed. She's done. She's finished. She's exhausted. She's had so many new impressions that she just conked out. And in a couple of months, I'm pretty sure that she'll be there for 4, 5, 6 hours without any problem, without being completely busted by it. Now, we all have this, whether it's a new job or it's a new function or it's starting in a new sport or moving to a new place, that we need to adjust. We need to acclimatize. Sometimes we need to improve, like skills or physical training, that sort of thing. And as an example, many years ago, I was a reality TV star on a football team, a reality TV football team. And at one of our first trainings, I was 25 at the time. At one of our first trainings, like not too long into the program, we do this 12-minute exercise. And after it's something about running and shooting and running and dribbling, blah, blah, blah. And you just keep going until 12 minutes have passed. And after it, we're just lying there on the field, most of us completely busted. I was dead. I was thinking, like, oh my God, so much pain. And thinking, if it's this exhausting, if it's hard, if it's going to be like this every time, every training day we have, I don't know if this is worth it. Then of course I could find some other way to get in shape and have fun. Maybe not to be on TV, but that would be okay. I remember thinking, is this really worth it? This is just too hard. And then our coach, when he gathered us and we're kind of getting on our feet again, he says, guys, this was pushing you to the limit of what you can do right now. But in 3 months when we're done, you won't feel this sort of thing. You'll just like, this was nothing. And we didn't believe him. I mean, some might have believed him, but most of us, we did not believe him. It was like, yeah, right. Okay, we'll get in better shape. We get that, but this is still going to be physically demanding. Yeah, you can see where the story's going, right? So some months later, we're having a training day, and at some point we're doing some exercise, and at some point our coach gathers us and says, guys, you know what you just did? Like, what did we just do? Said, you know what the exercise you just did? Like, yeah, okay, we did a training exercise. Said, remember that day in one of the first trainings when it was so hard, this 12-minute thing, and it was so rough. Yeah, we remember, that was terrible. When are we going to do that again? It's like, you just did it. Seriously? Like, we just did it. But that was nothing. We're not even winded. We're kind of winded, not sure how to pronounce that actually, but we're not even a little bit tired. It was like, yeah, that's because you're now in much better shape than you were then. And that was true. And I see that so many places that people come in and there's a thing and it's overwhelming. It crushes them on day one. A couple of months in, no problem. They're not even noticing that they're doing it. And the reason I say this, because we of course know this, but it's easy to forget either end of the spectrum. It's easy to say we only design for day one or we only design for day 100. You need to design for day one and for day 100 and for kind of in between. It's one of the things that computer game designers are exceptionally good at doing. Like you get into a game and you learn how it works and you're slowly adding new skills to what you can do. You're slowly kind of getting new possibilities, understanding how to play the game, maybe using skills from other games, but kind of getting better and better. So the challenge curve feels like meaningful. So if you play the same game again, the second time, the first couple of levels or the first episodes or however it's structured are usually going to feel incredibly easy, sometimes even boring. Because, I know this. Let's get to the challenging stuff. So well-designed game kind of has this curve. And when it comes to corporations, to organizations, this onboarding thing, some do it very, very well. But there's so many who just forget. They forget that you get better, or they forget that you were so bad. So they design day 100 for day one, or they design day one for day 100, and those are nowhere near each other. There's nowhere near having done a thing many, many, many times and having not done it all. And if you take those, if you design for too high skill level or too high capacity or confidence or whatever it is you're doing, understanding, then you're going to have people frustrated. They're going to feel that this is annoying, it's bad, it's ill-designed, it's terrible. On the other hand, if you think that the same thing they get on day one, that they're able to do on day one, they won't have grown by day 100. You're giving them the same briefings, you're giving them the same instructions, they're at the same level, then you're going to have people like, oh, they're not going to listen. If you've ever been on a flight, you will know the feeling of sitting there. The first time you're on a flight, you get the safety briefing. You're listening. You're like, how do I buckle my seatbelt? And where are the exits? And what should I be aware of? And am I going to remember the thing with the life vest? And, oh, okay, I blow in the thing. And, oh, this is how it works. And you're going to read the safety instructions. But when you're on your flight number 100, you don't even look up. And they say, this is important, sir, because this plane is different from all. You don't care. You're like, I've been here. I know this. And it turns out that if you're in an emergency, you might not know it. Then you'll realize, oh, I actually stopped listening to safety briefings 16 years ago. This thing looks very different than what I remember. What do I do? Because you've stopped listening. And sometimes it's hard to do this. Sometimes it's if you're speaking to everyone, you need to kind of have one voice for everyone. But sometimes you can do these things differently. So the thought I want to leave you with is when you are thinking of new ways to do things, when you're innovating, so to speak, just to have a tie-in to what it is I talk about, then remember there's a huge difference between day 1 and day 100. And if you're not aware of that difference, if you're mistaken enough to think that day 1 and day 100 are the same, either way, top down or down top, it's bad. Because you're going to have some people extremely frustrated because it's too hard, and some extremely frustrated or bored because it's too easy. And if you don't acknowledge that, if you don't find a way to kind of build that into what you're doing, then others will do. And they're going to leave you in the dust. Now, to round it off, Saga is still out cold. I'm pretty okay with that. We'll see what it looks like on day 100 in her daycare. But I'd be pretty surprised if she's still kind of just 2 hours and then she's done. And me? Well, this is my keynote number 71. Is this still as exhausting as it was for keynote number 1? Not really. I guess that's part of the point too. With that, I'm going to send my last thoughts to you here from the parking lot where we are waiting, and wish you all a good day. Thank you.